My name is Antimo. I've been a forecaster for a couple. I don't know if it's over 2 years now, but been a while. And That's what I do. I design, and you know, the it's been interesting seeing the jump from frames to mini apps,
Mhm.
and like it was fun because frames were like all crypto apps when they're early on in the cycle were a bit of a mess, and then they got codified. But then just where we're about to like thinking about, oh, how could we make this better, then we they got nuked and we got mini apps, right? And so
Right.
I was actually working on Nanar is one of my longtime clients, and we were actually working on, they had that frame studio, but then
You
frames.
remember distinctly.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And so now we have mini apps, and mini apps are. I thought this was interesting because obviously, I'm probably not the most hardcore user of mini apps because I don't do a lot of trading. I don't do a lot of gambling. I don't do prediction markets.
I
Maybe you want
completely
to ask me
understand.
what are you doing here? But still, I use mini apps, right? And I noticed that because the thing with crypto is that if there's a chance of gaining even a little bit of money, users will jump through any hoops. So they will be a lot more permissive with UX and UI that they would otherwise be, right, in normal apps. And so a lot of things get lost in building and dealing with on-chain tooling. And I thought, because a lot of these things are very simple, basically I wanted to put together a checklist, even for myself, because sometimes I get a client who's working on a mini app, and I wanted to have this checklist to go over to make sure that everything is there. And I thought it's a very simple thing. It's just, like pilots have checklists when they take off and like switch on the engine and stuff like that, right? But it's still useful to have. And so I put it together, and we can go over it.
Perfect. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Is this the first time I'm using StreamYard? So I just share my screen, right?
Yes. So yeah, just to present one. If you have like the PDF, you could upload that as well. But sharing your screen is probably the easiest.
No, I was using Figma slides, and in fact, if you give me just like 30 seconds, I'm gonna add the last slide. There. In the meantime, that I wanted to. This is just a presentation, right? But I'm actually building a UI kit. It's gonna take a few more
Cool.
a few a few more days, but I'm doing that as well.
I mean, yeah,
So
maybe if we have some time where you can show people sort of what you're working on after.
oh yeah, sure. The
That's
I actually told. Sorry.
He's Rocky was showcasing his effect library that he's been building to make it a lot easier to build web
Really?
applications and software in general.
All right. Let me share. Where is it?
So that's sort of the theme of today. Let's show off the infrastructure we've been building.
Yeah. I'll just do the tab. Where is it? This one here. Okay. We should be seeing this.
And now everyone is seeing it.
Nice. I can navigate away. Cool. All right. I'm not gonna do, because this is the first time I actually use Figma slides, so I'm not gonna do the actual presentation view. But it doesn't matter. You see it, right?
Yeah, it's incredible, yeah.
Nice. So this is the checklist, and by the way, I'm gonna update the Figma community file. So if anybody wants to get this for whatever reason, they can go get the file. These are. You can see my notes as well on the bottom right. The point is not to do like a design masterclass. It's to have a little bit of a think about these things a little bit, and it's not aesthetics first. It's function first, and helping you build basically. So the first thing I wanted to I think it's always important to do is make sure that the hierarchy is on point, as in what's the most important thing. And I got this. I was trying to get one mini app example per slide, and this is betterment, right? Like even simple things like if you have a bunch of things, the actions that the user can take, the most important one should be, bigger, brighter, more colorful, however you want to treat it, right?
Mhm.
Um, and this is also a good mental model, I think, as a designer or I think as a developer, because basically it's like, the screen is more like you can have mini apps on desktop, but it's like a screen mirror, right? It's basically as big as a mobile phone, so you don't have a lot of real estate, so you can't cram it too much. I mean, you can, but then that's a trade-off. So if you have several competing things within the same screen, just make sure that it's obvious what's most important and what's less important. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, Betterment is
and
such a good example for this as well.
by the way, I'm not like I'm not. I was going to say, oh, this is good, this is bad. It's just, I was going through mini apps and whatever was fitting as an example. I'm not saying this is shit and this is well done. It's just,
Right,
just
right, right.
illustrating examples.
No,
Although
that is the best part.
yeah, although it's very good. If one of these examples, like if I can think of a redesign of anybody else, if they get tips for improving it, it's all good. So. Um, and so like I said here, our hierarchy is expressed through color, type, and consistency. So there's several ways you can just make something huge. Then that's at the top of the hierarchy, right? Um,
Right,
but the
right.
but the most important thing, I think, is text. Oh, I'm getting a bit of echo. I don't know if it's me. Uh,
Here, let me try and.
I'll get my headphones on just in case, if you can help.
Are you still hearing it?
No, not yet, but just in case, I'm switching to
Okay,
headphones.
okay.
All right. Can you still hear me?
Yes. Can you hear
Nice.
me?
Yeah. All good.
All right. Fantastic. Let us continue.
Nice. So the I basically one that I think there's of all like design knowledge that as a developer is good to know. The one thing I think is really important is the type scale. And you don't even need to go too much into that. Basically, type scale means you're going to need in any product to have several size fonts for title, for body, for captions. So you need to choose some kind of font size. Instead of choosing at random, have the type scale, which basically says headings are always 30, body is always 15, whatever that is, right? And it's called a type scale because, like, classically, you start from the body font, which is, let's say, 10, and then you use a multiplier to go from 10 to 1.5, let's say. So you go to 15 to 22, whatever that is, right? And then
Right.
you've got this scale, which is this basically, and you're always using the same font sizes. Um, and it's important because you're not doing things at random. Obviously, like if you got a page like this, like this is tipping, right? If you want to introduce a new screen and you're like, okay, how big are we making the headline? Usually you're just going to reuse the HTML or whatever that is, and it's the same heading. But sometimes you're making something net new, and it's strange when font size just changes up and down. It usually looks like a bug. So just use a type skill. That's it. And just to show you how simple it can be, like this is not mathematical. For these actual presentation, right? So the body is 60, heading is 90, and captions, this one here is 30. And that's it. Just went in 30-point increments. One thing that's good to know probably about type is that these are minimums that is really good to keep in mind. So never go below 14 on mobile and 16 on desktop, otherwise it's going to be too small. Um, if there's entire books, as you can imagine, on like typography and stuff, and you can get mathematical people comparing type scales to musical scales and all. It's very nice, right, to learn. But the gist of it, I think, is have some sort of note on what the various font sizes should be, and try to
Mm.
keep it give a reason to it, not do it at random. It does make a difference,
It,
even
it
just to
makes a
reduce. Sorry.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference, especially like for tipping, like the example you gave. I mean, that's just what makes it so much more clearer to read and understand.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is like super simple, right? Like this style and
Yes.
this style is the same size. Still, so type scale. And and the next thing is color, right? You got type and the color, the two big primitives. I got a
Well, you
couple of,
all these different mini apps, like just went through them where you're like, all right, yeah, this is exactly what I needed.
yeah, it's useful to have as a checklist, right? And this is,
Hmm.
I think it was super fluid claim. I
Yep.
think, yeah,
Fluid
yeah,
Flame app.
yeah. And so this is a very good example, right? So you've got, I'm guessing in this case, is the green is like the primary accent color.
Right.
Um, and this is the CDA, and it's an accent color, and it's fine because you want people to click on Discover apps. But why is this green as well? Like, should I be clicking here? That's a perfect example. Yeah.
That is a really good example.
Um, and it's
Honestly,
like,
it would look great in black.
yeah, but it's like, it's not the end of the world, right? So it's not like people are not going to use your app
Yeah,
if
you're
you're
just
just
like,
putting mistakes.
you're just like, oh yeah, just part of the branding, But I definitely hear what you're saying. Like thinking about it from that perspective, like you definitely want to click the green. So.
Yeah, and also like imagine if on this same screen, the exact same screen, they wanted to add a second button to this
Hmm.
section. So you have Discover app, which is the primary CTA, and then they have a second button which says, I don't know, see other campaigns, whatever that is. But
Hmm.
if you want to distinguish between the two, then you would keep Discover app green, and then the other one you probably make it black, let's say.
Right.
So you need a distinction, and that's where you use accent or not use accent color. So
Mm-hmm.
just a thing to keep in mind. And it's one of the things that you used to say. If it makes sense, and you think something's too bright or too dark, even not using exactly full white or full black makes a bit of a difference. So slightly off white and slightly off black. That's something that helps. But we're going into like fancy design.
Well,
Just
that's what
just
we're here for. All designed by you is fancy, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm very pragmatic. I'm super pragmatic at design. Like if the big things work, then the rest of it just cascades through and makes sense too. Um, and I just include that this is the 60/30 60/30 10 rule. It's like the 80/20 rule, right? Basically, keep the accents for use them sparingly. There's actually a very fun thing that I thought about. I was reading some book. I don't know what book it was, but there was this quote from the CEO of Porsche, and he was saying that because obviously it's a luxury car, right? And he was
Right.
saying whenever you're seeing more than one Porsche at the same time, we're doing a bad job. Like they're too cheap or something. I don't know. Because when you see one Porsche, it's gotta be the one thing that you're looking at, right? So if you
Mm.
have two, three Porsches at the same time, they become like too common.
Yes.
So I guess the comparison here is don't have this. This would be
It's
the two Porsches probably, I guess.
right. It's no longer luxury. Yeah, that's a great
Right.
point.
So you don't know what to click, but again. Um, and so we did the type and color, and to bring it all together, it's consistency because you're gonna have a bunch of buttons, a lot of type, a lot of text. Um, Tipping, this would be in this case would be like a bad example. I'll show you what I mean.
Mhm.
What I'm focusing here is on what is clickable, and why does it look clickable, right? So if you look at this screen, you have a bunch of this is actually it's super faint, but there's a gray, light gray here. So
Oh yeah.
that's you see that, right? So
Yeah.
you've got the wallet pill, you've got these, which are actually like this is a tab bar, and
Hmm.
then these and these and that. Like if something is clickable, it should look clickable, and this is not, it shouldn't look clickable, and you should keep the same treatment. The combination of whatever it is, color, shadow radius, corner radius, just keep it consistent so that it's easy for users to understand what to do. And actually, I find it's when products, because the thing is, the reason I think this approach is useful for mini apps is that most mini apps are like experiments, right?
Hmm.
You put together a quick MVP and see if it works. And then if it doesn't work, it's fine. But if it does work and you add screens and flows and make it scale, right, then it's useful to have a very small design system. So that if you have to build a new screen, you don't have to choose, okay, this is clickable. How do we do it? you have the building blocks, right? And you just add them, and it's going to save you time, I think. Uh, yeah,
I mean, I definitely agree. It's funny coming from Superfluid app. Of course, you want to click that green.
yeah,
And when I did come to tipping first, I think that is one of the things that was confusing. I mean, pretty much everything else is laid out so simply that you can kind of understand what it is. But in terms of what's clickable, it
yeah, yeah.
definitely took me for a ride.
Yeah, yeah. And again, like right now, it's super simple. But when it does get complex, then you think about it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, all right. So, and sorry if I'm kind of going fast because I just realized before coming on stream that there's a lot of stuff, so I just want to cover it. So,
No, no,
um,
I think it's perfect pace.
nice, nice. All right. So this is super simple, but very important. And this, I covered the whole screen. So, but you can see what's going on is that if you don't account for the safe areas on mobile, on iOS only, basically, you're gonna cover it. Well, you're gonna
Mhm.
overlap with the home indicator, and this is not clickable, right? So you
Right.
just don't use the that space in the bottom. Leave
Yeah.
about 30, 40 pixels free on the bottom. Um, in theory, you should also think about the top, but in Farcaster mini apps, you don't need to because this is native, this bit up top, and so it's going to be covered. But you do have to think about the leaving clearance on the bottom.
Oh wow.
Again, this is
Many
a real screen. Like this is literally from my iPhone. Just screenshotted it and sent it through.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, like
right,
many applications like always have a problem with that, even in a normal web, let alone
yeah,
many applications.
yeah.
So thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, that's really great point.
Yeah. And something which is related to this is to consider a floating tab bar. So this is a tab bar, right, on the bottom, but it's not floating. And so it goes to the bottom, whatever that is, at the very edge of the screen. This is Ponder, and this is a floating tab bar, and this is super well done because they accounted for it, and it's floating and it's sticky on the bottom. So if you keep scrolling down, that stays on top, and it's clickable and it's very well made. So, um, I mean, in general, this is like schools of thoughts. I've had clients that are like, "Oh, why are you doing this? Or you're taking up all vertical space." But I really like, unless it's too big, to keep sticky top bar and bottom bar. So if you're scrolling, you can keep scrolling, especially in cases if you have a sort of an infinite scroll situation, like in Ponder, you can keep
Mm,
scrolling and see and then checking other surveys, questions, whatever they're called. But then, how do you get up top? Or how do you get to this whatever these are? Back to home, right? So
right.
it's cool to have sticky top bars and bottom bars. So just think about them, and always have these. Always have back or home. I get so irritated when I have to. Not irritated, like
I,
what?
yes, feel the same
Just
way, 100%.
so you have to close the app and open it again.
Oh,
It's not like it's like what people problem, right? I know what I mean, but like
no,
it's
I'm such a stickler about this specifically. Like, I really need you to be able to click like anywhere that takes you back home. I want like
yeah,
four buttons that can take you back home at least, like
yeah.
at all times. I mean, you should be
It's
able
so easy.
to you should be able to click the icon, the logo. There should be bottom navigation. Maybe even
Yeah,
X out depending on what the page is.
yeah. And well, I don't want to front run my own platform. Let me.
No,
But this
we're
is
getting something there. Yeah, yeah.
and breadcrumbs too. Same same ballpark. If you can show, if you think it makes sense, show breadcrumbs. And actually, there they are. This is still Ponder. See, this is actually the screen of one. What's it called? A survey, uh, a contest, whatever. Right. So
Yeah, yeah,
you go
yeah, yeah.
back.
A poll.
Right. A poll. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, but look how beautiful this is. Like you're seeing this is overlapping, so you can always get back to whatever these are. This is beautiful. I think I was going through a lot of mini apps while I was preparing this, and I think of all the mini apps I've seen, if I have to single out like a couple, this one and Condo are
Oh, yeah, yeah.
top notch, top
Yeah, yeah.
notch.
Condo is a
Um,
really great example of just really sleek, really clean, really simple.
But super, it's not like it's got like he did it himself. I know Jake did it himself, but like
Yeah,
super
yeah. I was
simple, right?
asking Soho. I was like, "Yo, did you help him out?" Because Silash, the QR coin dev, is here with us in Japan, and I was
Yeah,
literally asking him, I was like, "Yo, do you help him with Condo at all?" And he's like, "No, like pretty much not at all." And I was like, "Damn, that's
yeah.
sick to hear." Just him
Jake
and one
is
other
pretty
guy.
good.
Yeah,
Jake's
yeah,
pretty good. And QR too. QR is very different. It's got all the text and the ticker, good go, everything going on. But still, it's like
yeah.
even if it's super simple, everything that needs to be there is there. So chapeau. Um, oh, I had this note about no dead ends. Just don't have screens that you don't know how to get back to homes. But we covered
Yes.
that already.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say it's a
Yeah, yeah,
passionate
yeah.
point.
And this is so. I don't know how to. So I covered this because it's important to cover it, right? But the I'm not 100% sure what the old like the iterations of these are, but even though the Farcaster if here's the thing, this screenshot here is using the Farcaster wallet, so this bottom part is from the Farcaster wallet,
Hmm.
but in any case where that wouldn't be the case, right? You should show, hey, this is what's about to happen. We're going to ask you to do this. The or remember is tell them what's going to happen, tell them, and then tell them what's happened.
Right.
So
Yes.
um, and this is like covering the bases, but this is something that I haven't seen actually. So have an actual button that you can click and these two things actually see what the mini app, what permissions do they have exactly granularly, and then have an actual button to revoke permission or remove the mini apps, whatever needs to be removable. You should be able to just click and do it. I know this is here in the
That would be
native.
great standard. Yeah.
Yeah, but you should always still have it. I remember there was a mini app that I was using. I think this was a beta version, right? But it assumed that I was using my Farcaster wallet, and I wasn't in that moment. So I thought the mini app was broken because it didn't have the NFT or whatever it was, right? And I didn't remember I was using another wallet. So again, front running myself, but having the wallet showing what wallet you're using is you should do it. That so always do it if you can. Why not? Even just a little bit, a label. This is an actual part of the UI kit that I was preparing. So I want to prepare all these pieces of kit so that you can something like Shatsian basically.
Mm.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a lot of mini apps do it. Like if you go to Ponder, which again is super well made, but it doesn't really show me. Like I think that this is because this is my old avatar, right? From Farcaster. My
Mm.
old PFP is not current. So I'm assuming this is using the Farcaster wallet, but I'm not 100% sure. So I would have
Right.
to click and see what wallet it is. It would be nice, I think, to see somewhere here what wallet it is. Even if it's a super tiny CDN ENS, right? If you
Yeah, I
can.
mean, like right under your avatar, even.
Yeah, why not? If you can stick it in. So yeah.
Because I know, yeah, and Ponder's very specific about like which wallet you use as well, like your Ponder
That's
wallet.
another thing.
Wallet.
That's another thing. If you have points accruing, if you have, if you have money you have to take out, it's good to know. What else? Oh, we're getting to the end here, but like, you're really covering the bases on all the states. So this is not really an empty screen. It's not really an empty state. But if you do have an empty state, never just leave like a blank page. Just say, oh, you have and also pair well if in a sense this is so yeah, I have no Brachy available. I'm ashamed, right? But like imagine if this screen told me I have no Brachy available to deposit and it didn't have the swap button. I'm like, okay, so what do I do to text? Yeah, right, to text
Right.
him. No, just also have a button, an action, so that you can actually populate it somehow, do what you're supposed to do. Um, so this is good to keep in mind. And a related item here is loading states. Use the skeleton. This is Ponder, right? It took me a while to screenshot this exact loading state because it's so
Moment, right.
yeah. But it's it's good. So that something is happening. There's I've read, I noticed it only recently, but like it's incredible how much of a difference it makes. Um, like even if there's a super long loading time, let's say like I don't know 5 seconds. If you have the skeleton UI, it feels like one. It feels like because you're looking at something and it's blinking or it's shimmering,
Right,
right?
right, right. You're like, oh yeah, this is nice. Yeah, we'll get
Yes,
there
it
in a
makes a lot
second.
of difference. Yeah,
Yeah.
and if it's super long, which can happen, then I don't know, progress bar, tell them something, but don't do a fake infinite because then it gets stuck and you don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
So
and you're just sitting there watching it for a while. You're like, oh, maybe this is gonna work.
that's something that you shouldn't do too. Um, and by the way, I'm gonna front run myself here, but I don't know. This is actually the one thing I don't know what the best practice is. In fact, I didn't have a visual here, but there should be you should be able to account for uh, no internet because then it's not going to work, right? And what is going to happen with pending transactions? I don't know, but uh, we should probably think about it somehow.
I mean, even Farcaster is so interesting because, like, if you don't have incredible Wi-Fi, then you're going to be sitting there for a while watching
Yeah,
Farcaster
you
load, and,
noticed?
and you know
Yeah,
it eventually will, but it takes a while, and sometimes you'll just get like a client-side error, and you're just like, oh, what's the problem? And you're like, oh wait, I don't have Wi-Fi yet.
yeah, yeah. And it's interesting. It's especially because if you think about it, on-chain products are uh it's not magic, right? You need to be connected to the internet anyway, but
Right.
but it's also like a parallel because online on normal Web2 products, right? You click and then something happens or doesn't happen,
Hmm.
and sometimes you have optimistic UI. You know what the optimistic UI means?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
there?
Sorry.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize you
So
were asking. I thought you were just riffing. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So just in case anybody doesn't know, optimistic UI is when you click something and then it immediately changes status. Like it looks like it's doing what it's supposed to do, but then in the background, the server actually does its thing, and it may happen that it reverts and they say, "Hey, no, we actually didn't manage to connect." Um,
I was
but on
recently
chain,
a great bearded software engineer who told me that optimistic UI is lying to a user.
is what? Sorry.
Is lying to a user because it
Well,
basically shows a state that is not representative of the actual backends. But he was a backend developer, so
I'm not. I'm not. I don't. I don't. I don't disagree. It's kind of. I think optimistic UI should only be done if it's a really really well thought product and you have the time, you have a team, and you have time to map out the states. But you shouldn't just do it by default because then if it looks optimistic but it's not working, then it's not a nice place to be, right? So yeah. So think about network failure. What I was saying about network failure is that you have cases because the on-chain actions are once you click, they go on in the background, right?
Right.
But you might go offline in the meantime. So that's the mismatch that I think is important to consider. And I've seen a lot of apps not getting this right, even big apps, big products, um, because it's complex. You gotta
I
cache
was going to say
something, and
it is a hard problem to solve.
yeah, yeah. But and by the way, this is unrelated to crypto. But I don't know if you noticed that I I think ChatGPT, early on, you can tell me if you have the same impression. Like early on, you had to keep the tab open, otherwise you wouldn't go through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Yeah.
sometime in the future, right now it's not like that. It goes in, it does in the background, but not
Mhm.
every time. You know.
No. No. I mean,
So
even like Cursor, I feel the same way. Like you just have to keep the tab open. I feel like Cursor's a lot better with than ChatGPT. Like it really does run in the background, but you
yeah,
know, sometimes you can't trust it. You got to watch it.
yeah. But this is going to be like I think as soon as we have this, you can't do this. I think they're kind of hand waving it for now
Hmm.
because we don't have widespread local models. It's still kind of a very frontier thing, right? Having a local
Right.
model. But when we will have it, it's going to be really useful, not just cool, but useful to know that okay, you can just click and then throw your computer into the ocean and then get another computer, and all that the result of that computer is going to be there waiting for you. and see visibly what happened and when you can close what tabs, for example. Um, but yeah, it's not for now. It's a future problem.
Well, yeah,
But yeah,
probably sooner than we think.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Just going from the amount of screenshots that I took from Ponder, I gotta, I'll tell them. I'll tell them later.
Yeah, maybe they'll find out from this from the live stream.
Yeah. So this is I just, voted on a poll, and they showed me the screen, right? So you can share it, you can cast it, and go to the next Ponder, but you should show a success screen.
Mhm.
And yeah, just busy work here. Errors are probably more important. I don't have a good error screen here, which is telling because a lot of apps don't have error screens, but you should
Yeah.
have error states and screens, right? You should account for them. It's not. This is kind of a hard problem because you can't account for all. It's like, why did you make that mistake? Well, if I knew, I wouldn't have made it, right? But but you can account for some categories and have a generic error and say sorry, and then if you offer something to do and not just leave it, hanging, then this is useful. And this is useful as well for developers, I guess, if it's relevant.
Yeah, the retry is always really nice because it gives you an opportunity to actually retry. The only pain in the ass is if you're just sitting there clicking retry, for like 10 minutes straight.
Yes, that doesn't help.
In that case, I mean, in theory, you could, create some longer message that's like, hey, this shit's not going to work, and here's why.
Yeah, and then you can copy a log or contact us or give them something to do.
Yeah.
Ideal scenario is the T-Rex in Chrome, right?
Yeah, I mean, giving the exact error, giving like a log or anything like that would be extremely helpful, and just send it to or whatever.
I think of, like, I don't know, early hypersub. A lot of times, there was an error, and I had to send a console log, but there was no way to do it. So, it's a good example.
Yeah, that's a good example, especially if there's just like a direct, like, send it to Evan, emails it to them, or something like that.
And make them visible, because there was this one time where I needed to send a console, like it was like time sensitive, and I just didn't think about it, and I closed the tab and I couldn't get back to it. So in this case, it would have been useful to say, hey, you're gonna copy the log, are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, when you're, especially like when you're creating a profile or going through some sort of flow like that, and then it's, you tab out and you come back and it's still like working perfectly, but then you like go to submit it and then it's just like, oh, you have to redo this whole thing, and you're like, why would you even let me continue then? I don't.
That's right.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna head out soon.
Before Samuel gets here?
Yeah, I know. Like, I was about to ask you, are you going to handle Samuel? Like, do you think you can manage it?
Yeah, I can manage it.
Because I think for tomorrow we're gonna have a very important day, and it would make sense for at least one of us to be alive.
Yeah, you need to be more alive. Yeah, he has to pitch the local government here in Casanova on something he's been working on, so they're very excited to hear from him.
Nice.
So, Antimo, are we gonna see each other soon in costumes or not?
I think so. I hope so. I hope so. If I'm still alive, this year is nothing's guaranteed this year. This is like I'm on my last breath. I've got 2 kids now, guys. I don't.
Hey, it's guaranteed you come to FarCon Rome. That I know for sure.
Oh yes. Oh my God. Yes, I'm very happy about that. Yes.
And we're going to have some coffee
and some wine.
Bye, guys.
See you, man. Nice to see you.
We'll see you. Yeah. Well,
so jealous you guys are in Tokyo.
Yeah, we're actually about 5 hours north of Tokyo.
I saw that. Yes. Yeah.
Running a little Kismet here, and a little civic tech hackathon with local government. So we brought in about 14 developers from about 8 different countries, and they've been building. So it's been a really exciting journey so far, and we'll see where the end of the week has us.
All right. Nice to hear that.
But shall we continue?
Oh, that was pretty much it. I think I had only one slide. There was language.
Okay, yeah. What is this? Oh, I see. Yes.
Just, this is like the cherry on top, but it's it's one of those things of when you've done everything else, I think, and you're doing like a last pass on the UX and UI of the product. Think about what it actually says on the button, right? Like, is the if you in terms of checklist, right? There's an action, so you need a button. Is the button there? Do we actually have a wallet, a Connect wallet bill? But then what does it say? You know, even here, for example, if you're looking at wallet bills, where is it? This one. So connecting, you could also say pending, right?
Okay.
And some
Loading.
people, maybe, English isn't their first language. Just thinking about it is good. So
Yeah.
by the way,
It's a really good point we usually don't think about.
yeah, I had an actual doubt here. Can you know that on like on browser extension and on mobile wallets, you have pending transactions. So you have a little badge that says, hey, you have one or two pending transactions. Can you do that on mini apps? Like, could I show this and also say,
Right.
I don't actually know.
I feel like the answer has to be yes. I mean, maybe not, but I think it's possible.
I never actually seen it, but then it should be,
Right.
because when there's a pending transaction, especially in cascading actions, you can't actually use the product. So I don't know if it's ever happened to you. Like
I'm
on
trying.
splits, for example.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a recent example. I'm not sure if I've had a recent example of that happen to me.
I can, like in wallets, like I'm using, sometimes I use what's called OKX wallet.
Oh, okay.
Because it's useful, because it's got the biometric. I can use a touch ID on my
I see that.
laptop,
It's really nice.
which is right.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I don't know why, it asks for so many confirmations. So when I have to do a simple swap, if it's the first time I'm swapping, I have to approve here, approve there, and the limit, and then I have to like sign 5 transactions.
It's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how many times I thought I did the swap, and then I came back after 30 minutes. I'm like, nothing's happened. What's going on? And I actually lost time on some action, on some token, on some price action.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
that's
so
the thing. It's like you can't have that many steps when you're trying to confirm a transaction. Like, it is something that definitely needs to happen in much fewer steps. And most of the wallets I use, I feel like it's one or two. Like approve and then confirm, and that's it.
yeah, that's why I was very interested in the rainbow, what's it called, Degen mode.
Yeah. And that makes sense, because back in the day, using MetaMask, that was the thing. You had to set your limits and set your proofs for exact token amounts, and such a pain in the ass. MetaMask was always the epitome of terrible UX, though.
I wouldn't have made it. I would never have been able to actually be a functional on-chain user back then. It was too difficult.
It was very difficult, I have to say. It was definitely not something that was for the faint of heart.
No, man. You know something funny? I had my very first crypto project was, but I didn't look for it. It just happened. It was just a referral, and it happened to be in crypto. And it was on Binance. It was on the Smart Chain. Go figure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was on Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah, I'm not gonna link it because it's just defunct. And it's a hospital scam. But we actually did the work. It was some design development, and a lot of the onboarding process was geared toward people who had no idea, and so you have to teach them. This is a blockchain, really start from basics.
You're like at the top of the funnel.
Yeah, and so I was thinking about educational content, educational products, and while I worked on those educational products, the whole landscape changed. So those products weren't relevant anymore, which I think you're probably familiar with. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Somewhat. Yeah.
It's like teaching people how to add chains to a wallet, let's say, right? Now it's not so important. For example, if you just use Rainbow, basically.
Right, exactly.
But
I mean,
it's cool.
That's the user experience we needed. I mean, that is we need this interoperability. We need to not have such a fragmented ecosystem, and we should be able to swap from any chain to any coin at any time, if there's liquidity, of course.
By the way, that's another thing that I use OKX for. OKX has built-in bridging, which is very handy a lot of times.
I mean, most things seem to be integrating Relay or something very similar nowadays. So if your current wallet is not doing that, I would be surprised.
But Rainbow doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, Rainbow can auto bridge.
But not well. Some chains, not everything. Like I remember a couple of months ago, I wanted to swap. I think because you remember MetaMask did the card, and you had to do it on Linea. Do you remember that?
Right.
Right. And so I brought some, I don't know, $50 off on Linea, and then I never used it again. And
Right, of course, yeah,
because I was like, what is this? And let me bridge it back, and I couldn't do it. And OKX let me do it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I mean, Rainbow doesn't have like every chain, but most chains that people use, I feel like.
Yeah. By the way, another super stupid question that I had was, like mini apps, can they have can you have a mini app on Ethereum or mainnet or an Optimus?
Yeah, you definitely could. Yeah.
All right, cool. Because I was gonna write. You should show the badge, the chain badge, right? But then I was like, does it only work on Base? No, it doesn't.
That's really funny because I guess most people probably don't use mainnet unless there's I guess if it is like a wallet app or some reason where you would go to like switch chain, you could switch to exactly, you could switch to mainnet. But yeah, it would be really fun actually if people started branding their mini apps around the chain. I guess Base app, you do have some of that.
Yeah. Why not? No. Mainnet. Who uses mainnet? I have to use mainnet when I sell one of my CryptoPunks. But that's
yeah, that's funny. Mainnet mini app is a really good name though. That's should maybe build something around that.
I don't think there's anything. I think it's all mostly Base, is it?
Yeah. But
it's a
fun idea.
Yeah. By the way, somebody was saying that on it was on Base Italy, I think, that mini apps on the Base app, they don't have notification support yet. So
not yet. They're still trying to reach parity.
Yeah.
It's going to take probably another couple of weeks, hopefully less, to reach parity. But with Farcast mini apps, but it takes some time. We're getting there. Hopefully, it's sooner than later.
By the way, what are we? We're waiting for Samuel. Do I have a hit time or?
We have about 10 minutes. Some of the people in the comments, Altage was asking if you got the slides, if we can make them public. You don't.
Oh, sorry. Yes. How do I? What's the best way to do that?
If you send them to me, I can send them right in the chat. You might be able to send it right in the chat here as well.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. It's not on screen, but I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, you can even go to the live video on Twitter and just send in the comments there too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let me mute this. I'll do it in a second. Okay, sorry guys, because it's in a community file. There you go. Update community file.
Legend, this guy. He also goes, you could DM me on Farcaster. That's probably not a bad idea. Just post on Farcaster too.
But where's the? Oh, there you go. Homebase workshop. Now I got the stream as well. Almost done. Let me check if it's actually updated. There it is. So the chat is here.
I'm sure someone will come early if he can, but I believe he said that he was on a call before this. Oh, nice. Sharing the Figma. Appreciate it.
No problem. Let me just check if it's actually there, but it should be. So it's one of the pages. One is the cover, one is the actual kit, which is not much of a kit for now, and then you have the page called class, it's got the slides. So yeah. Nice. There you go.
Thank you so much. That was absolutely amazing. It was such a great. Altage goes, "How do I mint it?" It's going to the moon. Honestly, you could coin it on Zora if you want. It's not a bad idea. And then you could post the Zora link on Farcaster. That might be a banger.
You know what I'm gonna mint the actual like the cover slide. It's got that like illustration.
Mm-mm.
Um, I'll do that.
Oh, that's a great idea, actually.
We did it for Farcon, not last Farcon, the one before that.
Right, right.
It was like the
Yeah,
cover. That's pretty cool. Were
yeah.
you at that one?
Yes, yeah. I was helping Dylan do Farhack.
Yeah, yeah. Very nice. Look at
It's a
that. By the
legendary
way, you're
account.
not Italian, are you?
Italiano Americano.
Ah.
From New York. So
Nice. I always meant to ask you, I'm like, dude, why are we speaking Italian?
I wish. I mean, my parents were unfortunately Americanized to fit in. So I mean,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course, still learned all the swear words and
Of
all the
course.
right gestures and of course how to make a good homemade sauce and pasta. But
Of
um,
course.
most of the
I know how it
language
is.
is lost. Yeah.
I know I got a my grandma's brother is in New York for has been there for ages, and on his passport it's called Franco, but it's
Mm.
not Franco, it's Frank now.
Oh my God! Yeah, exactly. It's now just Frank. Yeah,
It's
that's
actually Frank on his passport, so and you know he's got he
damn,
just
damn.
that's what happens anyway. Oh, I got the scoop for you. We're launching or we're doing base batches, me and another
Ah,
Ponca. Yeah, yeah, and
yes.
we
What are you
have
guys working on?
it's one of those products that I'm like, why doesn't it exist? Because it's so simple. It's to create a feed agent in a couple clicks, but no transactions, just
Ooh,
conversational. So just a system prompt, and you tell speak Italian, speak whatever you want, and this is your identity and this is your personality. And for now, that's it. But then surely that there's going to be modules, things that you can reference. But it's quick to do, right? So anybody
would
can do it.
you be able to create like a? Do you think you would want to create like a mini app experience to let people like spin something up like this, like pretty easily, and then just say like, hey, like comment on these types of casts? Like, what is like the sort of experience you want people to interact with
It
this?
it does work in a mini app, but for now the mini app is only going to do three things. One is create a bot,
Right.
then change the prompt so you can, and then also pause it if you want the bot to stop. If the
Ah,
prompt is so you stop it, and then you can also test it. So you can test the new prompt without actually posting to the feed,
oh, nice,
uh,
nice.
which is cool, right?
Yeah, that's
Um,
fantastic. That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but the absolutely coolest thing about this is that like you can like log out and create a new bot account, bot 231, and use that, but you can also use your main forecaster account and bot
Mm,
yourself. That's the
that's
main thing.
that's amazing. So it will literally spin you up like a bot account, like for
Yeah.
Farcaster. Is that the idea? Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah.
No, 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 wait, no. It's like he's whatever forecaster account you're using in that moment to use the mini app, that's what you're signing with. So that's the signer, and that's what's going to connect it to OpenAI. So
I see. Okay, okay, okay.
So if you want, you can create another bot account, but if you want, you can just bot Luciano
I,
and
I see. I thought you were saying you could
just
do both, but no, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And like obviously it's tricky because then if it starts misbehaving, you get the spam label. You want to think about it, right?
Right, right,
But
right.
maybe you can add a slow mode. We'll see
Well,
how it
that's
goes down.
why there should almost, I mean, of course, this is like a whole nother component, but it would be really cool if you could say, like, hey, create an account on Farcaster, like, called this, if this ad is open, and then, like, make this the bot's personality. You know what I mean? Because then you
Creating
could,
third-party accounts is
yeah.
so hard. Yes, we're gonna but the because
Well,
right now the main thing that we thought about this for this mini app is that this is not like um new tooling, right? You can go to Nanar and create an agent, but in
mhm.
that case, you only get the signer UID, and you need to be a developer. So this product is for people who don't know how to do any developing,
Right, right, right.
and they still want to create an agent, which you can do. And then depending on how you build the prompt, it can do several things. Um, so
Yeah, it'd be really cool to spin it up for different projects, like really easily. Like it would just be so nice, just be like, hey, like create a bot for like the like a QR bot,
yeah,
and
For Homebase, imagine for Kismet Casa, and you give it a bit of local knowledge and say, hey, if anybody asks him about Kismet Casa, and he's got a little bit of an MD file that he references, just make it
would
easier.
actually that would be dope if you're just like if anyone is in Japan, like tell them about this event that's coming up that they can participate in, like if they're talking about visiting or something.
Just make it like as easy as the baseline GPT features. They have the projects and you have the custom instructions. Just being able to do that with the bot and changing the prompt easily as a casual user. I think that's great as functionality. So we'll see how it goes.
And how far do you guys think you'll be able to get by the end of base batches?
By the end of base batches?
Yeah. Like what do you think? I think like 2 or 3 weeks. I actually don't know exactly, to be honest with you. Which
the builder track application is the end of October. It's like the end of this month, I think.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely still some time, but I know they're going to announce winners at Dev Connect, and they're going to showcase winners. So
really?
Demo day is November 19th. It says teams are notified on October 24th.
I don't know the answer to that. We'll try our best. I mean, we're doing is even without base batches. Like Limone told me, hey, why don't you apply to base batch? I'm like, oh, let's do it. But we're still doing it. So
yeah. No, I mean, it'll be really fun to do for base batches too. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And also, I've been working on this little mini app idea called Mafia Mini App. And I need to bring the build back for base batches. So I think I'll need your help. I'll try and do as much of the work as I can first to make your life as easy as possible. But I definitely want to put some more in front of you and see what we can spin up.
Send anything you have, and I'll help you out.
Just remember, I got all the Italians in a group chat called Mafia Mini App. So if I haven't added you yet, I'll make sure you're in there.
Nice. All right, man. Hey.
If you look at that. Say hello before you have to
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Buonasera.
I learned a little bit from the morning.
Yeah, it's a bit late now. You're in Zurich, right? You're not in Japan too.
No, I'm in Zurich.
Nice.
He almost came. I tried to convince him, but he had too many in-person meetings. Yeah.
Bro, I literally have a family birthday on Friday. I have a client meet tomorrow.
You could be working with local government here instead, though.
And then there's base workshops. Literally, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like next week. I'm basically 6 days of the week. I'm basically running mini app workshops.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, this is what we're here for.
Actually. Yeah, six days of the week. I'm running workshops. So
when Luciano told me when this was happening, he didn't tell me. He told me the time in Zurich time, which is like
Samuel completed my round the world knowledge of every time zone, because I had to convert everything to Zurich time, because Samuel was the first one to confirm the times, and my calendar's in EST, but I'm in Tokyo. So it was easier for me to base off Samuel's Zurich time, and I still sent the calendar invites out at the wrong time.
Bro, you sent them out for like mornings. So like you sent them in Eastern.
Yeah, exactly. I set them in Eastern, exactly, because I thought my calendar had switched to Tokyo, but it was still in Eastern. So I set like Tokyo times meant to be like equated to Zurich time, but it actually was EST. It was a mess.
I'm very disappointed in you guys. You should know that GMT is the only available time zone for coordination. The empires never set.
GMT, yes, but not British time. It's like you're actually 1 hour advanced from UTC. If you're not aware, you have British summer time.
I don't know. The British time is the only time that matters.
No. If you're going to summertime, you fucked yourself in the arse pretty bad. And I'm specifically saying it the British way. That's what you just did. It's like I literally like on my watch I have like multiple time zones, so I can set one to UTC. just because like every single server log and everything I have is UTC or the time that my computer is in. So it's like I can have local time in UTC. UTC, when you Brits go to summertime, is 1 hour behind you Brits. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what time it is in London. It's like
I don't make the rules, you know.
and it's like -1. I'm like, guys, you have the time zone for that.
Listen, I got my wife blowing my phone because I gotta go put the kids to bed. But
just the phone. That's what
it
you
was very nice. Yes.
Yeah, let us tell her you're on a workshop call right now.
Yeah, she knows. Yeah. Thankfully, my office is like 500 meters away from my house, so I just gotta.
Oh, that's really nice.
Man, guys, really, thanks a lot. This was really fun. Let's do it again. All right. See you, Sam.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Bye. And coin your Figma slides.
Oh yeah, I will. I'll send you a link. All right.
Hell yeah. Post it. Yeah.
Bye.